All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Nice Grass, Nice People. And we have got an absolutely awesome and very unique episode of today's show for you all. Of course, I'm joined by my good golfing friend, Mr. Steve Beige Berger. Beige, how are we doing today?
It's a momentous day.
That is a soundbite we actually have got to get in the hopper here too. And of course, we are also joined by a very special guest, co-host of the Confused Breakfast podcast, Mr. AJ Vens. AJ, welcome to Nice Grass, Nice People.
Kyle, Beige, thank you for having me. This is wonderful. I'm so glad we get to do this finally. Fun topics ahead. I'm stoked. Thank you for having me on.
You know, sorry, Beige, please.
Yeah, let me do a little more intro on this, man. For all those fine people out there, you know when you just meet somebody and they're like, "Hey, do you golf?" And it's like, "Yeah, I golf. Do you golf?" And then you're like, "Do you want to be best friends? Do you want to do karate in the garage?" So one of my best friends, Jeff Jerfery, is from Iowa, and I knew AJ. I actually met AJ here way back in my teen years, I think in college. I was 18, 19.
Years.
Jeff gets married. We go on a bachelor party, and we have this moment of reunion where I'm like, "Hey, we know each other." And then it was like, "You golf?" And he's like, "Fuck yeah, I golf." And I'm like, "Oh, damn. Do you want to go on a golf trip with me?" And he's like, "Fuck yeah, I do." And so we went to Bethpage Black like 3 weeks ago.
Which we've mentioned on this podcast a few times. So this is great.
Oh, yes.
Let's not dance around it, okay? Let's just go to Bethpage and see how it goes, you know?
If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But the way you're talking right now, I think I just want to take you on a cross-country flight and hit some golf balls. That's what I think we should do.
Yeah, it felt great.
Yeah, I feel like men, just generally speaking, and I'm not trying to make a huge point, but I feel like dudes, it's not very often you just meet somebody at a bar and you're like, "Dude, you want to go on like a weekend trip like next weekend?" It's like, I feel like it'd be much more likely that like two ladies would meet each other, get along, be like, "You know what? Let's go on a weekend somewhere next month." And be like, "Ah, okay." I feel like for dudes, that's just totally unheard of, unless it's golf related. If it's golf related, then all of a sudden we all become one and the same. It's like, you know what? I've met you for 5 minutes, but I would love to spend 16 hours golfing with you next week. Let's do it.
It's such a strange thing. And it's also the same phenomenon of like, I think I just sent this out to you, both of you. It was like this really quick little video, and it's just silly. And Cillian Murphy just standing in a room, just like talking to nobody. It's just like when you're at like your wife's function and no one else golfs, and it's just you standing around. It's like, I have nothing to talk about with any of these people right now. And I'm like, and then it's the opposite where it's like, if there was a guy who golfed here, we'd probably be golfing next weekend, right? I mean, it's that simple.
100%. 100%. And we'll be making plans for a big golf trip for next year as well.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, you know what? We've got to make plans. We got to make plans.
100%. So today's podcast is a little different, ladies and gentlemen. It is, we're not going to be talking a lot of golf news, not going to be talking a lot of professional golf. We are going to be fusing two of our largest passions here, which is golf and film, which again is really just, it couldn't be more perfect that AJ is here, because for anybody who's unfamiliar with the Confused Breakfast, it is a podcast for cinephiles, for people that love nostalgia and love movies. I don't know, AJ, is there a better way to kind of characterize or describe the Confused Breakfast that I'm missing here?
I mean, I think that's pretty darn good. It's about the nostalgia first, and then it's about being critical about those movies that you said you loved that movie when you were a kid, right? Or maybe you hated it as a kid, but then we talk about it critically and we break it down, and then we re-rank those movies accordingly. We have a list of probably over 200 movies that we've done over the past almost 5 years. And yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's all about nostalgic movies, the golden eras, 80s, 90s, early 2000s. It's a blast, and I do it with my friends Mike Schulte and Sean Pryor. Been doing it for years, man. It's a great time.
It's a lot of fun. As mentioned, I was just listening to the episode on True Lies this morning, which, oddly enough, jam-packed with nostalgia for me. The very first rated R movie I ever saw, True Lies. Just about a year or two after it came out, watched it on VHS in my cousin's cabin in Soda Springs in Tahoe. I remember it like it was yesterday. It was a mind-bending experience for me, which, I don't know. Beige, thoughts on True Lies?
I love that.
I understand the fandom, but I need to go give it another run. Okay. I didn't know I wasn't prepped. I didn't do the work there.
It's okay.
But just so everybody knows, I don't mean you show me mine and I'll show you yours.
I'll show
I
you
messed
yours.
it up.
Yeah.
Let's show each other. You would be joining hundreds of thousands of people if you give a listen or a follow to the Confused Breakfast, which pretty much makes AJ the most famous dude that I know. Just be honest.
Hell
Let's
yeah,
be honest.
brother.
I did get a selfie with Roger Maltby one time, but
Oh.
other than that, it's AJ. So we have selected the perfect moment for him to come in and
Brother,
weigh
we
in.
are not even we're 5 minutes in the podcast, and you are being put up on a pedestal. Do you feel nervous? Do you
Wow.
feel like you're up to the task?
Oh, I'm sweating. I'm sweating a lot. So, well, we'll see. I hope I can hold my own amidst this. So, yeah.
Well, so for today, we're going to be doing a golf course movie draft here today, and the inspiration for this came from a news item that crossed our desk a couple of months ago, and we've kind of holding it in the hopper for when we got an opportunity to do this with AJ. And for anybody who doesn't know, so recently, actually, I went to Forest Dunes in Michigan. Delightful golf resort. Right now, they currently have 3 golf courses, right? They got the original Weiskopf Championship course, the Tom Doak Reversible Golf Course, and then a par 3 course designed by Keith Rebb and Riley Johns, who are Core Crenshaw guys. Really, really killer place. I already talked about it at length, so I won't go too much further into it. However, a couple of months ago, they announced they were going to be building another golf course. This is going to be a private golf club that's within the resort, but resort guests would have access to the golf club. And then they disclosed that the name of this was going to be the Skyfall Golf Club. And Beige and I were looking at each other like, man, that's crazy. Like, I can't believe there's not more like golf clubs that like have the same name as like movies. And then all of a sudden the light bulb kind of went like, you know what? We need to have a little thought exercise here. We need to figure out what other movie names would be great golf courses. And vice versa. Is there any golf courses that would make for great great movie titles? And bam, here we are with the golf course movie draft. I wish it was more complex than that, but it really is just that simple, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know, but Skyfall.
By the way, I have to say, Skyfall, like you're naming a golf course after this, and the visual comes in when they get to that like first brick gate, like where they're doing it's the long driveway down to the house, and you're just like, that looks like a golf course to me. Like there needs to be a golf course carved into this place. Unfortunately, they're going to blow it all up. But yeah,
that's such a great call, because I feel like I'm sure you guys are no different, because every golfer does this when you're going off for a long drive and then you just see plots of land on the side of a highway or a curb road and you're like, that absolutely should be a golf course. That's all I could think about. I'm now realizing in this very moment, AJ, I'm not doing that enough with my movies. I need to be scouting film locations for potential golf course locales as well. So I appreciate you bringing that to my attention.
Yeah, it's important, and I'm just glad I could do that for you. I do it every day.
Yeah, so, for sure. Beige, I know you wanted to, I think we should have this little conversation before we kind of get into the particulars of how the draft is going to work. And that is, this whole exercise. Yeah, this whole exercise kind of brings up like, what exactly makes a good golf course name? Because the more I thought about it and we were thinking about doing this draft, I realized that a lot of golf course names are more similar than I would have realized. But I'm curious, what do you think makes a good golf course name per se?
Yeah, I mean, there's basically 2 categories here. Category number 1 is place and the word club in some capacity, where you're just like, Milwaukee Country Club. Like, dude, come on. We got to do a little bit better than that. So that's lame category number 1. I get why you do it. It's fine. Like here we have like Nashville Golf and Athletic Club.
Sure.
I'm sorry, we could have done better. The second category is either just 2 nouns or an adjective and a noun. You have like an animal and a color, let's say, or maybe like a piece of land and a describing word about that.
Yes.
You've got like Sleepy Hollow. You've got Crooked Stick, Shadow Creek.
Those are almost like the more unique ones. Crooked Stick is like, it kind of stands out like a sore thumb amongst like the golf, the golf courses out there. I think you hit it. Like the one that I really like the most, the Dream Golf model, is basically word and then geographical feature. So something at either the name of the town, then the abandoned dunes, rodeo dunes, Sand Valley.
Yeah.
Here, I've got a great exercise for us, guys. We're gonna do a quick Mad Lib, okay? So go ahead, go ahead and give me a topographical or geographical coastal feature,
Mm,
like bay or peninsula or those types of things. Give me one of those.
cliff.
Cliff, great. Go ahead. Go
Beige, you
ahead
got one?
and give me now. Go ahead and give me a a forest animal.
Mm. Oh gosh, Beige, you got one?
Wolf is always
Beige.
up there, right?
Wolf. Perfect. Now I need a just a basic color.
Black.
Black Wolf Cliff. There we
That
go.
is a
Like,
really,
that would do
that's a
it.
really
That
strong
would do
golf
it.
course name. That's
That
a
would do
strong. Did we
It's-
just
it's
did we
eerily
just
close.
figure? Yeah, did we just solve golf marketing?
I think we
Eerily
did.
close
Everybody,
to
we're available
Black
for hire.
Wolf Run. Eerily close to Black Wolf Run. But listen,
No copyright
all of it.
infringement.
Exactly. It's a feature, a land feature, a color, an animal, whatever. But I don't think you do many that are more than 2 words. If you start
Okay.
stretching out into 3 and 4 words, we start to get a little excited, you know.
Well, Beige, this
Fair
is where I
enough.
have to ask a question. Then, is that good? Is the way that we've been naming golf courses the last 100 years is it the right way? Are we? Is somewhere where do golfers just feel like they're in a sense of comfort when they know that they're going to a place with a name like that? Would an out there name kind of throw people off? I don't know. AJ, if you found a golf course named, oh geez, if I'm just looking at a list of movie names for say, because this is what we're gonna do it, A View to Kill Golf Club.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make you more intrigued, or does that say, it sounds dangerous, I'm gonna stay away?
My next question is, I want to see some pictures of the interior of this clubhouse because I need a view.
Yeah.
There's got to be some great bay windows. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
A great view of the 18th coming up at you.
Mhm.
See? Yeah. No, I'm there. I'm there.
I love that. Beige, are we doing it right?
There's not really a choice. Ain't broke, don't fix it model at this point. If somebody says a name and I hear Bandon Trails, I know it's got a little Bandon and I'm going to be walking through the woods, and that sounds pretty fire to me because I'm kind of a boring dude. But yeah, I'm going to roll with it. But in the meantime, it might be using those principles. Time to make some picks here because I got a hot list that I cannot wait to share.
Absolutely. So, ladies and gentlemen, like I said, we are going to draft movies that are going to then be what we think is exceptional golf courses or golf resorts. I don't know. It's kind of up to you guys. When you draft it, you can let us know if it's a public course, if it's a private course, is it a resort? You have any extra details for it? I mean, I got a couple questions that I'll ask you guys after you make your selections. Just trying to get a little extra, some extra details on your drafted selections. For everybody out there, we are going to. Well, I guess we didn't talk about this before. Do we want to snake draft this, or does it easy just go 1, 2, 3 over and over again? I really have no preference. AJ, I'll defer to you as our guest.
Ooh, I don't have a preference either. It might be best to snake draft,
Okay.
unless you think we won't have any like overlap. You know what I mean? But
We
that's
gave
me.
ourselves enough room with our various categories that I don't think there's going to be that much overlap. But you know what? I think snake draft is great. I think that is the fairest, most equitable way to do it. So for
sure.
anybody
Tell them
who's
the
wondering,
categories.
yeah.
Tell them the
So
categories.
so we're going to be drafting movies out of a few different categories, 5 different movie categories, and then a role reversal category that I'll explain here in just a moment. So because the genesis of this entire exercise was Skyfall. We had to make a James Bond category. So we're each going to pick one James Bond movie that we think would make for an excellent golf course name. Our other categories include 80s, 90s action movies. We also have any sort of thriller/horror movie. You can choose either one of those. It goes in the same category. We also will be picking a comedy. And then, of course, we have a wild card where you can pick anything you want. And then, of course, the very last category is what Beige was referring to earlier, which is a reversal, where we then will be picking a golf course name that we're going to use as a movie title. And hopefully, when it's all said and done, we'll post the results of everything, and then the listeners of this fair podcast can give us some input as to who they think has got the nicest little marketing touch here. Who's got the best affinity for golf course name selection? Either one of you gentlemen. Any questions about how we're going to be doing this today?
Rip it. Who's doing it? Who's
Okay,
going
so
first?
I'm going to
Are you
be choosing
hostess
draft
with
order
the
at random.
mostess?
I'm going to be choosing a draft order at random. Okay.
Okay.
I have a little thing on the side. Looks like AJ will be drafting first. And then between Beige and I, let's see here, Beige, which puts me at the turn. Okay.
Ooh.
Dude, pressure.
So-
First take on the guest. I like this.
Wow.
I like this.
Okay. Starting with James Bond movies.
Okay, he's going right. He's going right to the Bond.
Dude,
So, question:
We
are
really
you guys?
needed the NF. We really
are
need the NFL draft. Ding, 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 ding. Whatever the
Yes.
little sound is.
I would say
right.
because our our categories are so vast. We can kind of go wherever you want. If we end up doing a draft again, we may have to do one where there's only like 5 or 6 options in each category, so we can really start thinking strategically. Like, do I need to go to a certain category first to make sure I get dibs, or maybe not?
Whose pick is it? Shut up.
AJ, please. I'm going to shut the hell up.
We'll start with James Bond. We'll just run through our James Bond movies.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
I love that.
We'll just one after the other. I have my honorable was going to be GoldenEye for obvious reasons. Because Pierce Brosnan is the best, but at the same time, I'm gonna go ahead with it's my now favorite James Bond movie current. And that is Casino Royale.
Excellent choice.
I'm talking this is a classy joint, gentlemen. Okay.
Yeah,
This is a
explain to us a little
joint.
bit about the Casino Royale golf course.
Oh, where is it? Casino Royale is in I'm going to actually say that this is in Georgia.
Okay.
Ooh.
Yes.
This is a
Can
Georgia.
you gamble there?
I hope so.
Okay.
If not, he'll put it right on the Mississippi border where it is
That's
legal.
right.
So they'll draw
yeah.
from the Georgia crowd.
Yeah,
Ooh, like a riverboat
you
gambling
can get
boat
on a
is like
riverboat to go to where the course is at.
Ooh,
We're on it. We're on
Sick.
it already.
Fisher's Island ain't got
Sick.
nothing on you, brother.
Telling you, man, this is a
Hell
full
yeah.
experience. All right.
Yes.
The caddies are dressed in butler tuxedos. Okay.
damn.
So it's a classy joint. They do have a dress code. Black tie. No, it's not
Okay.
black tie. But and then all their cocktails are fun, classy cocktails. They obviously have the Vespa Martini. They're obviously going to have transfusions, but it's going to be made with cranberry juice, so it's red, so it's like blood, right? Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
And then so we're going to have featured holes here, and each featured hole is named after a game in the casino. Okay, so you
I like that.
you have your craps hole. Okay,
Of course.
you know they call this
I've
one.
had a lot of those over the years.
It's a big one. It's a par 5. It's craps. It's sand everywhere. Lots of pitfalls. But hey, but then obviously you're gonna have a baccarat hole. Okay, this is the
Have to.
baccarat hole.
Have to.
Par 3 over the water. So that's where I'm at with my Casino Royale golf course, guys.
I love it.
It's so good.
Excellent
It's so
selection.
good.
Well
done.
Beige.
Well
Second
done.
pick goes to you, my friend.
So I had obviously we've all got a number of options. I was not going to pick Casino Royale, but I can see why someone would. I chose Quantum of Solace.
Ooh.
It is a supremely private, so private you might not even know where it is.
Yeah.
Course deep in the Alps, where like maybe it's really hard to see even from satellite, and you're curving in and out of these hills and wooded areas. Dude, that would be such a sick golf course. I was thinking about putting it on like its own island, but like I'm pretty sure that Quantum of Solace is set kind of all over the place, but they do a bunch in Austria and stuff. So I'm thinking like in the Alps is where I would put.
Oh yeah, I
like
love that
a lot. Now I have to ask you a question, Beige. Have you revisited the actual film Quantum of Solace at all recently?
No, I should. Isn't this the one where he pulls his whole jaw out and all that stuff?
So I ask because as somebody who is a self-identified James Bond fan, I love James Bond. This is one of the few, really, I think it's the only Daniel Craig Bond movie that I never watched again after I saw it in theater. I remember walking out of the theater not really loving it, but again, that's not the point of this exercise. I think of all the options, I do think Quantum of Solace it might have been my favorite as well. I had it on my board as a potential option just in terms of pure name power. I think it really sends a message to potential members.
Quantum
Totally.
Solace got an okay kind of feedback on it. Some people thought it was kind of a boring one. I disagree wholeheartedly.
Okay.
I will say that that's the one that's like kind of ends up in like this desert fortress kind of a place, and
and it kind of built on Casino Royale, right? Wasn't it kind of more like almost like a revenge movie where he's trying to go after?
Yeah, it's on the heels of the death of Vesper and all that kind of stuff.
Right. Yep.
All right, sir. You're up. I mean, here's the problem. I think you would agree with this, AJ. There are a lot still out there. Like, it's not just like one obvious option. There's a lot of options.
There's a lot of them still out there. So here's, you know what? Since you guys have gone, you guys have both started with Bond. I think it would only be right for me to kind of just finish it up, so then we can talk a little bit about other potential names as well. We can kind of just wrap up that category and move on. So I think for me, in terms of a James Bond film, I think I have to go Dr. No, the Dr. No Club. And I think it's partially because, unlike my friends over here, I am a Sean Connery stan. I love Daniel Craig. I love Pierce Brosnan. But if I had to choose my favorite James Bond, it'd be Sean Connery by a mile. And it's probably because when I was growing up, I never realized it until I was an adult, but my mom only essentially allowed me to watch movies from the 60s and 70s as a child. I had no idea that I was just missing out on a ton of modern movies. She just had our entire VHS shelf stocked with 60s and 70s classics from like her childhood and her youth. So I watched a lot of it. Now, I will say, just purely from a name standpoint, I do think Goldfinger Golf Club would have been better. I think GoldenEye probably would have been a sexier name as well, as AJ referred to. I think Thunderball Golf Club would have been amazing.
Thunderball was the one.
I think they would have been amazing. I will say this: I did consider the You Only Live Twice Golf Club, just because it just makes you think. It's like, well, what's going on? What kind of stakes are these guys playing for out there? And because that's my personal favorite James Bond movie, but I think the Dr. No Club, it's so mysterious. It's so vague that I think people, potential members would just have to learn a little bit more. And also, throughout the movie, they I think there's like only 2 or 3 songs that they use for this score for that entire movie. There's the James Bond theme, which they developed for that one. And then there's this one song called Underneath the Mango Tree that they just play 7 or 8 times throughout the movie. And I just thought the 19th hole being called the Mango Tree was so perfect that it ended up being the tiebreaker for me, why we ended up going with Dr. No. And also, I think the name could potentially play a little bit into the club culture in terms of like, we're a no relief type thing. Like, hey, do I get relief from this divot in the fairway? No.
No,
it's right there in the name of the golf course.
No.
Can I remove my ball from this this footprint in the sand? No. So it's going to have a very, very Pine Valley kind of vibe to it. Hopefully a little more affordable and a little more easy to access. But that's why I ended up going with Dr. No. Did you guys strongly consider any other James Bond titles for yourselves?
Dude, Thunderball is held in the Bahamas. I can just see a beautiful Pete Dye golf course out in the islands. Like, that would have been so sick. I don't know if you had another one, AJ, but like that was like low hanging fruit, as was GoldenEye, really.
Yeah, GoldenEye was my other big one, but the other one, if I wanted to take it to a deep dive, would have been Moonraker.
Yes,
Moonraker was on my
that was on my list as well.
Moonraker Club, call it what you want, but Moonraker, that's a cool golf club name. And if
especially
you have
if it's like in the desert,
yeah. Oh yeah. And if you have like
great call,
you have like a hole that's called like Jaws or something.
Oh,
it's just sand all the way down on both sides. Oh, be solid.
Nobody's choosing Octopussy, huh?
No, well, apparently honestly, not.
All of the one word name Bond movies, all would actually, I think, make great golf course names. I mean, again, Goldfinger. I'm surprised nobody chose Goldfinger, because it is like the only Bond movie where you actually watch him playing golf, and he's a pretty good stick as well. I think Goldfinger also would have been great because you could have named the bar Pussy Galores. I think that would have been a nice touch.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Although then the question is, does the golf course have a 19th hole, or is it just a strip club at the actual golf course? It's true. Who could say?
TBD.
TBD. All right. I will.
I have to make
please.
one observation.
We can't just move off that quickly. I'm sorry.
No, we do. My observation is we got 4 categories and we just spent 24 minutes on that. We got a book, baby. We got to get moving.
We can do it.
We'll move here. Let's see here. I am going to now. Geez, you know what? I'm going to go into what I think is one of the thinner categories. I'm going to go to comedy. comedy is where I'm going to be. There weren't as many great comedy titles that I could think of that would also make great golf course names. But so I essentially just ended up writing down 5 or 6 of my favorite comedy movies of all time, and I just decided that this golf course / movie had that perfect mixture of provocativeness, based on where we are in 2025, but also would just make a really killer golf course name. So we're gonna be going with Blazing Saddles Golf Course.
Oh, I love it.
Blazing Saddles Golf Course is great. I feel like Sheriff Bart would have been a great stick. A very guy just kind of just figures it out. Whatever the problem is, he's a problem solver. He's a real like get the ball in the hole type guy. So if he's our head pro, I think we're going to be in great hands. The Rock Ridge Pub, afterwards for a 19th hole just seems like it just really rolls off the tongue. So Blazing Saddles Golf Course, I think would thrive no matter where you put it. AJ, I see you nodding your head.
Big
Blazing Saddles fan. Okay.
Big Mel Brooks fan. And yeah, I feel like. But here's the thing: you got to be a little careful with your rule book there. Okay, make sure everybody's allowed. Make sure we're not excluding anybody. Okay, that's all I got to say about that one.
The movie did not. It has not aged sensationally well from a. How do I say this? I don't know. It's just not very politically correct. Is that a nice way to put it? And by not very, I mean it's not politically correct at all.
At all.
Especially if you're from Kansas City, if you know what I'm saying.
I do have a great little. My dad always tells me the story that my grandpa and grandma went to go watch this movie in theater, and he's probably told me this 50 times over the course of my life. But he's like, your grandmother quite literally pissed her pants about 15 minutes in the movie, in the middle of the movie theater, and was laughing so hard she couldn't be bothered to get up. So my own grandmother just sat in a pool of her own stank for an hour and a half while Mel Brooks just made her laugh her ass off. So it's also a nice little touch as well. So
days before depends, and yeah.
Oh, AJ, what do you got? What do you got? What's your?
Is it? This is a snake one. This is a snake one, Beige.
Yeah, Beige, you're back here, man.
It's me. It's me.
It snakes back to you, my friend.
I have to admit that I've done basically a gold, silver, and bronze for each one of these. So I hope I don't ruin this, but I think it's worth sharing briefly what my 3 are.
Please.
I had, this is not even it's kind of comedy, kind of not. But
okay, so we're sticking in comedy, by the way.
Yeah, I know, but it's kind of like, I don't know. All right. Kind of toss it in there.
Hey, if you're not sure it is, you can leave it up to AJ and myself. We'll give you a ruling.
Yeah, let me say it then, for Pete's sake. Here we go. I got bronze at the Grand Budapest. I thought that was kind of a regal name. Not really a comedy, but kind of.
I would I would give it the okay on a comedy. It is an absolutely hilarious movie.
You can imagine. I got a silver at Hot Rod. I think you put this nearby a racetrack of some denomination, and you could find a way, dude.
I'm embarrassed to say, Beige, I'm not totally familiar with the film Hot Rod.
Oh, it's a good one.
I think put it on the to-do, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
Andy Samberg.
Add it to the list.
I think I've seen the movie poster, but have not enjoyed it myself. Okay.
It's noise.
Yeah.
My gold, I couldn't shake this from the moment I laid eyes on it, but it's Tropic Thunder, dude.
Gosh, that's an extremely strong, and honestly, is there not a golf course in the world actually named Tropic Thunder Golf Course?
We have to look.
Now somebody's got to look it up.
It does. It says no. It's when I first type in Tropic Thunder Golf, a golf course name does not show up. So I think you're in the clear, which is kind of amazing. I'm going to guess that by the time in our lifetime we could have a golf course named Tropic Thunder. Beige, please take us through your process.
So
I'm just saying, dude. Tug Speedman, the whole gang. You get out in the middle of nowhere. You're kind of lost. You kind of make it up as you go. You know what I kind of want to play is one of those golf courses. Like I had a buddy tell me there's a course that he played up in the Northwest, Pacific Northwest, that there weren't flags and there weren't tee markers. You had to go with a caddy who kind of told you where it was going. That's kind of what I'm thinking here.
I like that.
You're just out in it, and it's like a
not
golf really
safari.
A map. You just got to figure it out, dude.
So is this like a public? It sounds like to me if it's kind of like choose your own adventure. It might be like one of those. It's not even staffed. You just kind of like, drop a couple bucks in the honor box and then just go have yourself a day because there's just so few people out there. Where's your head at?
Well, I just wish golf was like that. I wish you could have mutual respect where guys could just go out to this open field and there are tee boxes everywhere and there are greens everywhere. And we could just decide, hey, boys, we're going to go from here to there. and it's not really like a 72 hole course and about the course. It's like, make your own adventure. Like, wouldn't that be really fun?
Yes.
Yeah.
You might die. You might die, but
It's worth the risk. Okay.
That's a price we are willing to take.
Indeed.
All right, AJ.
that's mine.
You are up with
Speaking-
your second pick. Where are you going, sir?
Speaking of, I'll give you my backups as well. Speaking of, that's a risk we were willing to take. Dumb and Dumber definitely came up,
I'm glad you picked that one up.
but it definitely came up on the list. But I was like, I don't know where I could get a list out of this. It'd be something like I Got Worms course or something like that. But so then I thought about, well, what about some other favorites of mine? I love the movie Hot Shots. Would have been a great one as far as the name goes, but it sounded to me more like more like one of a driving range, kind of like a Top Golf kind of a vibe. That's, oh, we're going down to Hot Shots. We're gonna have some apps and some pictures,
Heck yeah.
Totally.
and hit it at Hot Shots, you know. So I came back around to this. It's a little bit more. I'm all about I like the classy joints, guys, but I also really like it when you have it's a classy joint that you don't mind wearing a t-shirt to. You know what I mean? And that is the Big Lebowski Club.
Oh,
Am I right?
It was on my list as well. Gosh,
Oh.
so good.
Am I right? I mean,
I'm
Yes.
ashamed for not thinking of that myself.
it's just it's too perfect.
Cart girl with white Russians, dude.
all day, just bringing it around.
Milk was a bad choice.
This isn't a cooler climate. We'll say that.
And a question now: do you guys is there going to be a caddy program or a caddy training program? Because I think AJ's Little Urban Achievers would be a great name
Yes.
for the caddy program to start learning up all the youngins in your community as well.
Yep, it is. It's the Little Lebowski Urban Achievers is their caddy club, and it's like their Young Guns program. You know what I mean? That's what it is.
Random question for you: do you think Jeffrey Lebowski would have been a good golfer if he had actually tried to swing the sticks a little more often, or did
He would have been a lazy stick. He would have been a lazy stick for some reason.
I feel like I meet a lot of Jeffrey Lebowski adjacent guys out at the men's club, and those guys are out there having a good time, drinking a few cocktails, shooting 43, 44. I mean, I think there's a world where that exists, but also maybe not.
FYI, though, FYI, he is. He's probably is a stick. The thing is, we never really see him golf, just like we never actually really see him bowl in the movie.
Yeah,
That's a great
Yeah.
point.
I mean, it's so yeah.
Interesting.
just the record. I do say you're out of your element, Donnie, a little more than I should.
Yeah.
But I hope at your club, there's staff inside that are the Rich Lebowski version. Like, I want your clubhouse to be super rich.
Yeah.
And when you walk in, they make everybody take off their shoes and they give you a bathrobe and hand you a white Russian. So you're just walking around like with slippers.
I love that.
Doesn't this sound great?
And
Love
they
that.
and they accept checks too. So
Yeah. Where do I get a membership application? This sounds delightful.
This is great.
Out of curiosity, because we're wrapping up the comedy portion now of the draft, AJ, what is like the highest rated comedy that you guys have at the Confused Breakfast?
Ooh, I can actually tell you because I think I still have my list pulled up from earlier. The highest collective rating of a comedy movie, if you don't count Dazed and Confused, then it would be The Big Lebowski.
Okay.
Actually,
Bada bing.
Gotcha.
Behind that, it would be Shaun of the Dead.
So
yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's great. Man, all those Richard Linklater movies, man. Like, you're never totally sure if they're a comedy or a drama, but I feel like they can check the box either way. Got it. Definitely.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
But
Rich is the dude. Okay. So AJ,
Yes.
you're at the turn, man. You have another selection here, my friend.
Wow.
So just to let everybody know, so all the James Bond movies and all of our comedies are off the board. So you can go 80s, 90s action, thriller, horror, wild card, or you can pick your reversal, where that is a golf course name that will become a movie.
I do want to make note real fast in the official show notes that you shared with me just earlier today. There was an
Yes.
option for 21st Century Best Picture winner.
There was, and I forgot to put that in here. So yes,
That's okay.
Absolutely.
and we don't have to cover it. I just wanted to let you guys know that mine's a little bit of an escape getaway kind of a vibe. But with 12 Years a Slave, it's not. I'm sorry, that's a bad joke.
Bro, like he's really gonna have to figure this one out.
No, never mind. It was actually Hurt Locker for that one.
Dude, Hurt Locker's the only option.
The only one.
Yeah.
We can just collectively agree, I think, on that.
I mean, Moonlight's good, Argo's good, but like, dude, Hurt
The Shape
Locker.
of Water, pretty good, but
that was that was a good one as well.
Yeah. No, I apologize.
No, this is great. I just forgot to put this in my own personal spreadsheet here. So we'll put it in there for you. That is delightful.
We can all just say a collective Hurt Locker if we want. If you guys got it, then great. I was going to move on to 80s, 90s action thrillers, action movies.
Make it happen.
So started out, my initial go-to was just Lethal Weapon. Just hands down. I was like, oh, there's no questions asked. And then I really started to think about it. And I thought to myself, there's so many great options for a great coastal action movie golf course. And I have a tie, guys. I have a tie. And it is between Point Break and The Rock.
Yeah. Was just watching The Rock 2 nights ago.
I believe they speak for themselves. They have a signature hole at The Rock called The Rock, and it's an island green, obviously. Beyond that, Point Break.
How many golf holes could you actually fit on Alcatraz?
Well, I don't know. It's a decent sized island. I bet you could get a par or a 9-hole around there. You know,
par 3 9-hole course possibly. Egg on my face here. As a lifelong Bay Area resident, I've still never been to Alcatraz, so I couldn't actually give you a good sense of exactly how big it is when you're on there. But yeah, a few nice little par 3s, maybe an executive 9. That sounds great.
That sounds pretty solid. So. Yeah, so it was a hard tie for me, guys. I'm sorry. Maybe one stands out, maybe one, I don't know, but that's where I'm at.
I think we're going to allow you to double dip unless Beige was insisting on having one of those two selections for his 80s, 90s action film. So
absolutely.
Of my silver, bronze, and gold, Point Break was gold.
Yes.
Point Break was number 1.
Yes.
So I will have to. I'll have to settle for my my silver, which in this case is none other than Antonio Banderas in Desperado.
Yes. Oh, dude,
Rob Rodriguez,
great pick.
Speak to me.
A little bit of Steve Buscemi peppered in there in the early stages. Oh man.
Yep. I mean, even Tarantino makes an appearance.
Yes, that's right.
But dude, this is just peak Salma Hayek in my opinion. Dude, like, come on.
Still looking every bit as good as she did back then as well. Oof.
I think this is like a course in along the border, along the U.S.-Mexico border, and it's super deserty, and it's all like heroic holes, like no strategic, dude. It's all like heroic carries. It's very penal. You're just out in it. You know, you feel like you're walking through fire. Mm-hmm. Desperado is my choice.
And you know what? You got to use all the shots in the bag. You got to use everything in the bag to get this done. You can't just rely on the old driver to pitch. You got to use everything you got. Open up that guitar case full of guns and pull them all out.
Baby.
Now, quick question. First of all, Desperado Golf Club or whatever it is, very, very strong name. I feel like that could be in the cards somewhere realistically.
It's Desperado Golf Hacienda. Thank you.
Yes. Hell yeah.
Oh, yeah, baby.
God,
oh, yeah.
Good. So is this a public or private facility, Beige? Or we're going resort here?
It's like Bandon. If you can get there, you're welcome to play. But there's nothing else around, okay? This is for a true sicko.
Oh, that's amazing. Oh, I love it. All right.
Just for the record, the research team came back, and Alcatraz is only 22 acres. You would need 120 to 200 acres to have an 18-hole golf course. So maybe a little par
but on 22 acres, you could build a few par 3s. I don't know if you'd be able to fit
all the way up to 9.
Yeah, I mean, whether or not you could actually fit 9 par 3s, it's, that we have to wait and see. But certainly could get more than a few par 3s out there. All right, I'm not gonna lie. I wasn't planning on it going this way, but I kind of like how we're all just kind of hitting one category at a time. I think it sort of keeps everything nice and
perfect.
Yeah, it keeps everything nice and flush. So I'm gonna be a completist here. I'm going to stick around in 80s action, and I would like to let you guys know that Point Break was absolutely on my list. I don't know if we're just kind of, showing our age here, just a bunch of guys in their mid to late 30s, just huge fans of late 80s, early 90s action cinema. But I will say this, one that I really wanted to choose because I just thought it was a really strong name. I ultimately went somewhere else. But one, I just thought it'd be a really great golf course name, and it also happens to be, in my opinion, probably my favorite action movie, like pure action movie of all time, and that is 1982's First Blood. It is quite literally the most perfect 90 minutes of action that's ever been put on the big screen, personally. And I thought, First Blood golf course. It's one of those things. It could work probably outside the U.S. If we go to somewhere where Gary Player would have been playing as a kid, he gets like, oh yeah, I'm out in First Blood Golf Club. You should come and play with me.
It's got to be really heavily wooded.
Yes.
I have an idea for you.
Yes. Okay.
I think you make this a match play golf course. Like you design it to where it is meant for match play. Not too dissimilar from like a hoopy match club. Like,
I love it. I love
what I'm saying?
First Blood Golf Club. Exactly. Or for golf course.
First Blood Match Club is what I would call it.
Gosh, that is actually really elite. You know what? I'm going to give you
First Blood
partial
Match
credit
Club.
There. That is really good. However, because I am me, I have to also just go with my most fun watch of an 80s, 90s action movie. I'm not too far away from where you guys are at. The answer has to be Roadhouse. Roadhouse. The Roadhouse Golf Club is just it's a public facility. It's open to all. I think if anything, it has to be located in Jasper, Missouri. It's a town that's been struggling for a long time. Now that we got Brad Wesley out of the way, I think it's only, although. All right, again, this is kind of the same thing I was talking about last time. I feel like it should be in Jasper, Missouri, but in a Scottish accent, I could also envision Roadhouse being an existing. Are you going to go meet me at the Roadhouse? Huh? It's like it just seems like it would make sense.
Be nice, yeah.
So
that's a nice touch to it. And the Roadhouse, I feel like the clubhouse is pretty rowdy. There's a lot of broken glass happening inside that, But there's a great band playing. They got live music.
It'll get worse before it gets better.
Absolutely.
There we go, baby.
Yeah, sorry. It wasn't just because I had soundbite logged in. Well, yeah, of course. That actually is a great ethos for the club. We could actually really, that could just be a quote up on the wall. It would be very.
Oh, it is. It would be on vinyl letters, kind of like the Live, Laugh, Loves.
Exactly.
That kind of thing. Be nice until it's time to not be nice.
Exactly. And then,
dude, that's in the running for maybe like new Nice Grass, Nice People soundbite, like intro outros.
Again, I thought about that one as well. It does really, really work for us as well. So be nice
That's
until
great.
It's time not to be nice. I didn't include that. How are we going to know? I'll tell you.
I'll tell you. You won't. I'll tell you.
Question. Is Patrick Swayze the most, I don't want to say underrated, but is he the most underappreciated action movie star of our lifetime?
Top
No,
tier.
he's underappreciated, dude.
I would be afraid to call him underappreciated, to be honest. Like underappreciated because we just missed him for our age and era. That's why. But if you talk to somebody who's like
a 2025 type view, but I hear what you're saying.
Yeah, if you're talking to like somebody who's like 10 years older than us, even then they're like Swayze. Oh my god, yeah, 100%, absolute boss, regardless.
I think Patrick Swayze is probably amongst my 10 to 12 favorite actors of all time. I just feel like any movie that Patrick Swayze was in, I got season tickets. I'm all in, interested. Yeah. All right, that's what I got here. I guess I'm on the turn. So I guess I gotta go. Oh gosh, man, this is a tough one here. Okay. First of all, because I forgot to include it, should we just tangentially include what Oscar winner we'd have as our 21st century Oscar winner? It feels kind of recent, but I also think it'd be a great golf course name. The Oppenheimer Club. This is nice,
classy.
Yeah,
classy.
Just keep it classy. The
lot of blow up holes.
Where are you gonna put it?
A lot of blow up.
Where are you gonna put it?
Exactly. Trouble lurking absolutely everywhere. A very nervy test of golf out there.
Can you just tell me the city that you're gonna put this club in, please?
What? It's good. It has to be in what's it called? New Mexico somewhere. What was the name of the town that it was in? Yeah, this is rural.
You're right. Not in the actual applied location.
Yeah,
It
exactly.
would be in New Mexico. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. It is somewhere in New Mexico. Oh gosh, let's see here. I don't want to go to wild card yet. I feel like I got to save that one, for very last. So we'll stick with thriller, horror. Oh man, so many different choices here. That's tough. I think ultimately I have to just go with my heart. I have to pick a movie that I deeply love. A movie that I've probably watched as many times as any film out there. And again, I'm a little surprised there's not one of these existing in the world already. The Chinatown Club. The Chinatown Club has to be it. There's so many Chinatowns out there, none of them with their own golf course, and this is my chance to give back to all of those various communities.
Can I ask you something really quick?
Please.
Is Chinatown one of your favorite movies?
Absolutely. 100%.
Chinatown might be my favorite movie, and we've never talked about
Have we
this,
never
dude.
discussed this before?
I think that Chinatown's soundtrack is like kind of hands down the best. And then this is just like one of the greatest performances of any actor in Jack Nicholson. And I don't think people give him, listen, Chinatown gets its due.
The fact that Jack Nicholson and Al Pacino got snubbed for Best Actor in the same year is one of the single biggest atrocities that's existed in Oscars history. It literally makes absolutely no sense to me. Two of my all-time favorite movies came out in the same year. Neither of the leads was able to take home an Oscar, which is just downright offensive. I don't know. Chinatown Golf just has a really nice ring to it. I think Evelyn Mulray, had she survived, probably would have been a pretty good stick. I think she seems like she had something going on. She might have done like an Odd Job James Bond thing where she brought her butler out to carry her bag for her.
Nothing wrong with that.
Again, if I'm trying to think of great 19th hole names, JJ's is a great 19th hole name. The Water Department, I think, would be another great 19th hole name. So I'm going the Chinatown Club. And you know what? Because the Water Department is something for the people, this is going to be a public access course as well. So that's what I got for thriller. And then you know what, Beige? I'm sorry to do that. I didn't realize that I was snaking one of your all-time favorite movies as well. So you are up next, my friend.
Honestly, I leaned horror. I didn't go that route because I think there are a lot that kind of fall into this. Where does it go? Like, is The Matrix a thriller, or is it an action movie, or is it like this psychological?
I think
what is it?
It can straddle both lines. I think you're allowed to take either one.
Chinatown is in that ballpark for me of like I don't really know where to put it. It's just in this great category. So I'm going to give you my bronze, silver, gold.
Okay, please.
Okay. Bronze, just because it falls in my definition of what a good course name is Crimson Peak. I'm going horror. All three of these are going to be horror. My silver, this is kind of silly. You guys remember The Babadook?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. I don't even think I watched it, but like the name is stuck in my head. And I think if you showed up to a golf course and it was called The Babadook, you'd be like, I don't know what we're in for, but I don't think it's going to be fun.
And let me guess, number one is Gremlins.
Number one, I think we all knew what this is going to be. You show up to a course called The Exorcist, and I think you're going to have a pretty wild.
You got to work some demons out on that course.
You go across town with your buddy and play that great country club, and you get done with that round, and you're like, I have so much to work out. Yeah. You're like, hey, do you want to go grab a beer after this? You're like, bro, I got to go to The Exorcist and exercise some demons, baby. It's not a good golf course, dude. It's
just we pride ourselves on this golf course actually not being fun at all.
Dude, it's like $18 to $25 to play. It's like all flat, boring holes, but it's a place that you can go that you gotta figure your shit out.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
I love it. Absolutely love it. The Exorcist, not super similar to Chinatown. I will say this is a category that's got a lot of range, which I really appreciate. So, AJ, you are back here with 2 selections in a row, my friend.
Let's go. So we're going to do this. My backup was Cape Fear, kind of an easy one.
Hell
kind of an easy, but such a badass sounding golf.
The fact that we don't have
course.
a Scorsese movie here in the draft yet also feels a little wrong. So I think at least mentioning Cape Fear was the right thing.
Honorable mention, right?
I thought about making a Scorsese category, but I didn't know if that was getting a little too in the weeds.
That's all right. It's next time. Next time we'll do directors. Next time we'll do directors, and they'll be named after their holes.
I like that.
The holes will be named after their movies. Okay.
Hell yeah.
And but this is one of my favorite horror movies. I'm not a horror movie person. I don't watch scary movies. I'm known for it on the show. Like, I don't watch them. Like, and it's a legitimate thing. I've come around on them more. Sean is a massive horror movie fan. So when we did this movie, it became an obsession of mine, though, and it is The Thing. The Thing is, and it's the golf course is just called The Thing. We're going out to The Thing.
Love it.
Because it is a beast of a golf course. It is a beast. It is a big green monster, and but it's out in it's going to be like up there where I believe it was like Norway or Sweden or whatever is where this is based in. It's going to be up there, and so it's a seasonal golf course. But when you can get on at The Thing, man, it's a big deal. So
I've never seen it. I honestly, it's been intriguing to me for a while. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Is that a John Carpenter movie?
John Carpenter.
Okay.
Stars Kurt Russell.
I just watched Escape from New York like a couple of days ago. So I was kind of in a Carpenter. I was going in a Carpenter rabbit hole on IMDb, and I was like, oh, this is one that I've kind of missed because, like you, I don't really watch a lot of horror movies either. But I'm starting to think there might be a lot of stuff out there that I'm just missing out on.
There's a thing, man, of movies. If they have a mystery and they have a great, like, they leave you kind of thinking about them. I'm stuck on these movies for a long time. The Thing does this to you. And I think I have figured out the majority of the movie. I'll save that for a whole nother time. But if you haven't seen it, like, I can rabbit hole in that movie for hours. So, yeah. But The Thing is definitely the golf course.
Public or private?
Oh, it's public.
Okay.
Well, it's public. It doesn't care who you are. It's going to fuck you over.
No, yeah.
Don't care how much money you got.
That's great. All right. AJ, you are still up, man. And we have just just two categories left. So you're going to end up having the last pick in the draft. Are you going to go with a wild card here, or are you thinking you're going to pick your actual golf course that you're going to turn into a movie?
I'm going to stick with this. I'll save the reversal to the end for us. And I'm going to kick us off on the wild card. Now, here's the thing. This would be called when we said this was The Thing, it's the first thing that popped into my head because it's the whole basis of the movie is to not have their home turned into a golf course. That's the Goonies. And the course would be called the Goondocks. I want to see the course that they designed that was going to demolish all their homes. I want to see the sand trap that they never get their balls out of. This is what I want, guys. I want it so bad that I can't even express it. So it's the Goondocks, the Goonies course. That's my wild.
Incredible.
That's good.
AJ,
That's
question:
good.
How many like childhood movies do you think you've watched more than the Goonies? Like, is the Goonies right? Is it near the top for you in terms of like movies you watched the most as a kid?
Yeah, it's up there for me. Now, I haven't watched it a lot recently, but that movie is probably one of the most watched childhood movies. Like I have actually watched over the years. I've probably returned to that movie as much as anything. Yeah, to be honest.
Yeah, so. I don't know how many times I've watched it. Beige, you a big Goonies guy?
Not really. I hate to say it. I know.
That's all right.
I think I missed it at a pivotal time, but I'm with you guys. I respect it.
Of course. Fair enough. Goondocks. I can't wait to play it. It sounds great.
Dude, that does sound like a great course. Actually, that kind of lines up with my first, second, and third here. So like my third actually was called The Sandlot for similar reasons, right?
Oh.
Like I think there's like so obvious. I think that I don't even need to explain what I'm saying here. Sandlot third. Second, because it applies so hard on my definition of what a great golf course name is Mystic River.
Oh, beautiful.
Sean Penn.
That sounds gorgeous.
This guy.
What a fun family movie that is.
Yeah, of course. You know, one for the kids.
Yeah.
And then number one for my random. I suppose this could have fit somewhere else, maybe in the thriller zone, but it was just like too perfect for me. I think Black Swan, Natalie Portman. I know, guys. I know we're not big on ballet movies here, but
I remember walking out of the theater after watching that movie, and my head was spinning. That was a tough one to process, just because it was. I don't think I've revisited it since either.
It's a golf course that's going to leave you moist and wanting. Okay.
My God. My God. My God. I mean, I think if it's on the property with some of these other ones, maybe there's one that is like the most daring, difficult, obviously different, and very easy for people to say, like, I don't really like that one. But those who know that, like, this is the one, right? This is the course. It's whether it's long or like the design is so interesting. I don't know what it is, but it's got to be paired with obvious winners on the same property.
Yeah.
I like Black Swan.
Black Swan. It's an excellent selection.
Sorry, did you say moist and wanting? Is that what you said?
Moist and wanting.
I think actually that's a great subheading for this podcast. You know, the movie draft. Moist and wanting.
Moist and wanting.
Okay.
Solid.
All right. Oh, by the way, Beige, do you have a preference for your Oscar winner? Is there a 21st century Oscar winner that piques your interest? We're just having this as our bonus category. The Hurt Locker is off the board, as is Oppenheimer.
I honestly just had, it was either Moonlight or The Hurt Locker, and I just kind of settled on
Moonlight
like,
Golf Club is great. Honestly, I'm surprised nobody was thinking about taking the Argo. The Argo Club has it like that could be like there's a Camargo already out there. You know, it's adjacent. It's easy. The one word name seems to do really, really well.
It's got a great ring to it. It's just a little bit of a stressful course. Is
it more stressful than The Thing though, or The Exorcist? I got to say we've got a lot of golf clubs here that feel like they're going to have slope ratings in the low 150s so far. The one thing about Argo is how many times you could say Argo fuck yourself.
Yeah.
Fabulous.
Exactly.
Perfect. Okay, so we got Moonlight in there for Beige. I'm just making some notes here, fellas. Okay, if we're going wild card, I'm not going to lie, fellas. I really struggled with this one. I struggled because there was almost too many options. If I have too many choices, my brain just starts collapsing. It's like, I don't know if you guys ever had access to like a movie library where, you go over to someone's house and it's like, hey, here's like all my Blu-rays. Pick one of the 3,000 that I have available. And then like your body just starts to get crippled. You're so overwhelmed. You just like, I don't know, man, just pick something. Like I can't choose. That was me. That was me here. AJ, I see you nodding
every night for me on Netflix, you know, like, or any streaming service.
Yeah. So once again, I think I felt like I just had to go with my heart here. And I had to just go with movies that I loved. If I'm giving you guys, kind of a silver, bronze, silver, gold, kind of like Beige did. My bronze is a movie I've actually only watched once. Really enjoyed it, but I can't really speak on it too much. Having a golf club named the Casablanca Club just seems like it would just be a really classy place. Like a nice, a nice Moroccan, kind of, 18 leisurely, but also again kind of stress. I'm noticing a lot of our golf clubs seem to be a little bit stressful. Hopefully the Nazis are not coming to take you out on the 13th tee, but we'll see. So
19th hole is called Elsa's.
Yes, actually, great call there. So that would have been bronze. Again, for men of our age, I feel like I don't know. You'd be hard pressed to find too many guys that wouldn't have Pulp Fiction in like their top like 15, 20 favorite movies of all time. And also, I just think it'd be a great name for a golf club. The Pulp Fiction Golf Club. It's nice. I mean, shoot. Question: would Jules Winfield be a great golfer?
Oh yeah, absolutely. He's a bad motherfucker.
He's a bad motherfucker. By the way, in the wild, met somebody when I was playing at University of Michigan golf course a couple weeks ago. Had the bad motherfucker ball marker in the actual tent. I was like, that.
Yes. Love that.
Look at the big brains on Brad. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But ultimately, I just decided to just pick my all-time favorite movie. Like 20 million other people, I have the same favorite movie as so many other folks, and that is The Godfather Golf Club. It has to be done. Louis in the Bronx, is a great name for a 19th hole. The Godfather Club. It's easy, rolls off the tongue. I don't know if one already exists. Please.
Yeah, I need to give credit where it's due on that one, because I think I go like that's not a good answer because it's so popular. But the reality is it's a great answer that we're all just kind of afraid to say. Like that's the one. That's the really like the one we want to go to, right? So caps off for actually saying that.
Yeah. I appreciate it. Now have you guys done The Godfather on Confused Breakfast yet?
We have not. We save a lot of the big ones if we can. We had a really hot run of like big movies, but like we're saving the ones like Shawshank, like Godfather, some of those, we got to save them. We're like, there's got to be a finale in there somewhere. We hate to save it for that long, but yeah,
Yes.
Shawshank was definitely on a number of my categories. I didn't exactly know where to put it. It was right there with the Matrix.
Club. Yeah. Oh yeah, it was 100%. I was trying to figure out where to fit in the Matrix, and the other one I was trying to figure out where to put in was the Breakfast Club. So I was like, it makes a lot of sense, but maybe it's a little bit too on the nose. You know what I mean?
Yeah. On the nose, it is on the nose for a reason, because it works.
Yeah.
All right. I guess I will lead us off, gentlemen,
Club.
for our very last category here, and that is our role reversal, where we got to pick an existing golf course name and come up with a log line for it. I probably had a few of the same ones that you guys did. I'm just going to throw out a couple of them. Friar's Head. Is it a Spotlight or a Conclave sequel? I don't know, but could have been good either way. Cypress Point. For whatever reason, doesn't that just kind of scream like noir crime thriller? Like car salesman Eddie Venturi. His wife goes missing, but the police are uninterested in helping, so he tracks her down himself, only to find, he's in way over his head, type deal. So Cypress Point would have been great. God, what's the name of the guy who was like on NCIS for years? I feel like he would have been a perfect lead actor in something like that.
Oh, geez. David. No, I can't remember his name. I'm sorry. I can't remember.
But ultimately, I ended up going with the Myopa Hunt Club.
Myopa
Hunt Club, outside of Boston, Massachusetts. And I think the Myopa Hunt Club movie, it's a group of former Green Berets from Vietnam looking for an outlet to utilize their particular set of skills. When one day, one of them, a family member of one of them, undergoes a tragic mistake where, some sort of burglars or something break into their house and violate a family member. And so they've decided that they're going to take it amongst themselves to hunt down the criminals of Boston, one by one. It doesn't even matter if they were involved in it. It's just that they are now coming. It's basically like, imagine Death Wish with Charles Bronson, but with like 6 Charles Bronsons all at the same time. That's what my Hunt Club is.
Can I just tell you why I'm so messed up? I'm a terrible person. That when you said violate a family member, I started laughing. Like, why? I think it's just,
I did too, though.
That's not funny. It's not funny. It's just the verbiage is hilarious.
I apologize. It's
the fact that everything's so vague and you kind of threw in that particular detail. Is kind of
like he walks out of the room.
Something has to get these guys to snap. Something's got to help them get. It's like, you know what? It's okay to just start hunting just random civilians that we think are doing injustices around our city.
Hold on, hear me out. He walks out of the room and your Aunt Sherry goes like, "I feel violated." Get that guy into prison.
Yeah, get him. Yeah,
okay.
Take him out. So Myopa Hunt Club. That's coming soon from Warner Brothers. That's what I've got here. Beige.
That's sick. I love that.
You were up next, my friend.
I've got three really quickly.
Okay.
So and mine are all really popular ones. Third place, Bethpage Black is a neo-noir crime where a gritty NYPD detective follows a trail of blackmail and murder that leads to a shadowy underground society in Long Island.
Long Island, yes.
Sign me. Get me tickets on opening night. I'm in.
Dung dung. That'd be perfect. Anyway,
my dick wolf.
Sorry.
There we go, baby.
Really need to get on the soundboard
number two. Okay, I thought a little more fancifully with this one. I'm gonna call it Winged Foot, where it's like a superhero sci-fi, where it's a disgraced Olympic sprinter has an accident, and he wakes up after an experimental surgery with a biomechanical limb, and then he becomes like a superhero that's both hated and loved, and he's called Winged Foot.
I totally thought you were going to take that in the sense of like somebody like becomes an amputee and is like in a wheelchair or something. I totally thought you were going to take it there, but you went superhero. That's great.
You're right. We could have been more like sports drama and like hopeful story. Okay, here's the thing. On my last one, it's such a great name that I didn't exactly know where to go, so I have two options. First option, I'll tell you the plot first. A group of tourists shipwrecked on a remote Dominican island discover an ancient beast the locals call the dog, and the dog is hungry. Teeth of the Dog.
Okay.
Yeah.
Teeth of the Dog is a golf course that it's like so high on my list.
Love that.
The other option is I thought we were going to put these together for Bond. So I was like, could Teeth of the Dog be a Bond option? And so
Could be.
here's the Bond option. It's while investigating a bioweapons syndicate in the Caribbean, Bond uncovers Teeth of the Dog, a rogue mercenary unit that has ties to Spectre and plans to unleash chaos in the climate summit in Sao Paulo.
I would reach out to Denis Villeneuve, who just commissioned to direct the next Bond movie, and let him know that you've got it under control. They can take their
Tell them to
screenwriters,
scrap everything.
yeah, just scrap everything.
Teeth of the Dog.
Yep.
Man, that's fucking awesome.
Golden.
Teeth of the Dog. That is an excellent selection, Beige. All right, AJ, this is our very last pick of our inaugural golf course movie draft. I would not want to have it any other way than having you wrap this thing up, hit and clean up for us,
Open and
brother.
close.
Yes.
Opening and closing, man, it's an honor. Thank you guys. That's nice of you. Let me do this. Let's see if I can hold it up. All right. I have a good, better, best here. First was Shadow Creek. This is an obvious slasher movie. Okay, obvious slasher movie.
Yes.
Shadow Creek is a murder mystery. It's cabin in the woods. It is everything. It is the cliche of cliches when it comes down to murder with a little bit of mystery involved. This is one that I really wanted to try to devise something. I just could not bring it around, but I'll give you what I got so far. And this is Old Sandwich. Old Sandwich. This would actually this is the problem though. This would be like an indie film, and it would be a silent film other than just like mostly music. And it's a still shot for an hour and a half of a sandwich that got left on the coffee table at home. And it's a lot of people walking by it, a dog sniffing it. It's just an old sandwich just sitting there. And there's some meaning behind it. Some
Very
sort of
artsy.
existential crisis.
I know. I'm really into it, kind of.
This is great. I love it.
You know, it's the sunlight beaming in through the windows, passing over it, crisping the bread in a bad way. You know what I mean? The lettuce is wilting. We're watching it for a day and a half go by, guys. So,
Shit, is this AJ or Gordon Willis on the podcast? I'm getting confused, man. Jeez, unbelievable.
maybe I should have stuck with this. But my winner because I'm gonna finish where I started here, and this is a movie called Gamble Sands.
Oh,
Hell yeah, brother.
Gamble
you came
Sands.
to the right donut shop for that one. dude.
Yeah, buddy.
Gamble Sands is a tale of. Do you guys know Jake Johnson? Jake Johnson from like New Girl. He's done some other movies. He's yeah. So he is a down on his luck gambler. Go figure. He's a card player. Okay. This would actually be based heavily around a lot of his own tellings of his life. He plays money for a casino. Okay. He's basically, he doesn't play cards for himself anymore. He's a card player for the casino. They give him house money. He plays with people at the tables. He only walks away with pretty much minimum wage until he gets the offer of a lifetime to go out to Las Vegas, of all the places, to try his hand. And then he gets wrapped up, though, with some shady characters. Turns out that this was all a ploy to get him out there so they can wrap him up in a card counting scheme that they will pay him handsomely, but it's taking down the hardest casinos in the area. There it is.
I mean, by the way, like I had nothing to say. I was like actually trying to figure out where it would go. I need resolution. You know,
Yeah.
Tell me what happens at the end. I honestly feel like there's like a way to tie in the actual course as well on that
Oh
one.
yeah,
Yeah, that's
like
I'm a
mean,
little
that's
embarrassed I
a
didn't think of
cat
Gamble Sands
course.
for that one. That is so good.
I don't know anything about the course. FYI, I saw it. I was like, that's a dope ass name. And I just kind of got wrapped up in it. And I was like, this is easy. I need craps involved. I need like he's got to make up some money so he can like pay people back. He's got to do it all. It's got to end with, you know, a little bit of a cliffhanger, a little bit of like one last hand laying it down. We don't know what he hit. There it is.
I love it.
There it
Wow.
is.
Well, that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Do you guys want a little brief recap of everybody's selection to see how things shook out?
Hit it.
All right. So our guest
us the
AJ,
highlights.
our guest AJ for James Bond, he'd selected Casino Royale. For 80s 90s action, he had a dual pick of The Rock and Point Break golf clubs. For thriller horror, he picked The Thing. Again, I need to play this golf course. In comedy, The Big Lebowski Club. Oh, what a nice spot that's got to be. And of course, The Goondocks in Wild Card, and his revol reversal, a deep Vegas thriller, Gamble Sands. And for his Oscar winner, of course, he picked Hurt Locker. Again, another very challenging golf course. Mr. Beige from James Bond selected Quantum of Solace. For 80s 90s action, The Desperado Club. For thriller horror, he had The Exorcist. For comedy, Tropic Thunder. Wild Card, Black Swan. Reversal, Teeth of the Dog. And of course, he had Moonlight or Argo as his Oscar winner. And then for yours truly, Dr. No for James Bond, The Roadhouse Club, 80s 90s action, Chinatown for thriller horror, Blazing Saddles and comedy, Godfather and Wild Card, Miopa Hunt Club. I don't think I'm even saying that right. For reversal, and then I had Oppenheimer for my Oscar winner. Fellas, how do you think this went? AJ, for our first ever movie draft with a nice celebrity guest, how do we do?
Dude, this is great. This is a great time. Like these are little creative pockets that I like. My brain is kind of built for. So I love doing this. This was a lot of fun. Yeah, seriously.
Beige, did it feel like a little odd to not be recapping, just talking about the John Deere Classic here instead of just talking movies and golf altogether?
The amount that we spoke about the John Deere Classic was about the amount that it deserved.
Yeah. Shade intended or not intended to Brian Campbell.
I'll tell the folks, like, hey, listen, the Scottish Open coming up tomorrow morning, and probably tease off at a rough and tumble 3 a.m. Central Time or something. That's going to be one to watch, starting the 1-2 punch of what's going on in the UK over this month. But I think there's no sense in looking back. I think we'd use this movie option, the movie card, in a very timely fashion.
Yes, I thought this is one that we've been wanting to do for a while, and a nice slow week like this before the guys get over to Scotland. Why not do it now? And also, I like, we don't have too many evergreen podcasts. We've been talking about doing some more of them, and I think we're going to be getting a few more of these, not necessarily movie drafts done in the off season, but some more evergreen content. So look forward to that, ladies and gentlemen. Guys, this was so much fun. I had a blast today. Let's see here. Yeah, I think, AJ, you got to go. So before we bid everybody goodbye, AJ, do you have anything you'd like to plug? Where can people find the Confused Breakfast? Where can they find you, my friend?
Yeah, Confused Breakfast. Find it anywhere on like your social medias, guys, like Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, any of those. I mean, any platform that you listen to a podcast on, Spotify, Apple, you can find us on there. If you're into movies at all, I mean, give us a shot. If you're not into movies, give us a shot, help us out. But no, go ahead.
Might be worth also throwing a follow toward Shooter McGavins.
Oh, that's true. Okay, so I will say I'll plug him real fast. Yeah, I will.
Yeah, baby.
Shooter McGavin, Sunny Golfs IA on Instagram. That's my son. He's 2.5 years old. Swings the golf clubs. He's got his own set of clubs. We're taking him to his first real course this weekend. He's going to shoot on the actual course, but he swings it. It's a legit thing. It blows my mind every time. I'm hoping he doesn't get bored with it, but we'll just keep pushing him until he stops. You know what I mean? And not even push him, I guess. He just wants to go hit. He's like, we get out of daycare. He's like, hey, can we go to the golf course? I'm like, I would love to, dude.
That is the dream.
But sometimes sometimes we can't.
This kid has swing path goals. Your pinned post on Instagram. Oh my God, it's Jason Bourne. It's too good,
dude. It's wild, man. It's a wild thing, but no, man. I appreciate you guys having me on sincerely, and check that out if you can. Drop us a line on that. That'd be awesome.
Awesome. Beige, anything else for the good folks out there? No, sir. All right. Well, everybody, thank you very much for joining us on Nice Grass, Nice People. Please don't forget, next time you get to the golf course, it's slow as smooth and smooth as fast. And at the request of my co-host, also, do not forget. See you next week.